Hey, everybody, welcome back to Keys Guide to Freedom. I'm your host, TK. So, the first question was, what does freedom mean when you still have bills to pay? That is an absolutely fantastic question. Freedom is a journey, right? And as we going through it, we have these goals that we set up. And it, mostly it's about having a certain type of sovereignty. Sovereignty just means you have the ability and the means to do what you want and pay whatever the price is. Because let's face it, everything has a cost, right? There's always going to be a cause and effect uh, in the transaction, right? Just think of it like you're starting at level 1 on a marathon, right? Or on level 2 or whatever, right? So you're on a lower level and you need to get to complete autonomy, right? If that's your goal. I'm just sharing my thoughts. So the question becomes, what is the goal am I going towards? What level of experience do I want to have in life? Right. And then you go out and seek it. The things that you have to do in between is just the things that you have to do in between. Take your focus on the fact that I got to go out and pay bills. That's mainly because you have no other direction in your life. Like you have made your life about paying bills. You took the focus on bills and you took the focus off the experience. And that happens to everybody because let's face it, traditional employment is not keeping up with the cost of living. So you have to be able to first recognize that, of course, and then take the necessary steps or get the next necessary mindset or framework to say, okay, I don't like where I'm at. Where do I want to be? And then start mapping out that destination. A lot of times what we do is we say, I don't like where I'm at, and I'm just going to get out of this situation. But because you have no destination, you usually bouncing from a situation to a situation and you're moving laterally because you had no mind to move forward or no plan. Paying bills is just part of life, right? You want to get to a certain point in your journey where you have enough to not worry about those bills. Like those bills are so far from it. Now it's about how do I connect deeper with the people that I love? How do I spend more time? And how do I do it more efficient and effective? Right? Or how do I do nothing at all? So that's how you do it. The next question, can I be in survival and still build freedom? Well, I believe I just kind of answered that. And the answer is absolutely yes. Survival is certain phases of freedom, right? Freedom is a lifestyle, right? And we have to work towards that lifestyle. And here's the thing: it's always about pivoting. And let's take the survival off, right? Let's just say we're moving through life because we have to have a definite purpose. Without that, without a goal, there's nothing, right? So even if you fail 400 times, right, you come back and you calibrate, but you still have a goal. You still got something that I'm working to. It does get discouraging if you fail it 400 times. Like, please figure out what you're doing, and if you're not doing something right, correctly. Because typically, even when you start from zero, from not knowing nothing, and you need to become an expert or something, that journey, you're going to end up just, falling, not knowing what you're not knowing. But the goal is to do it fast, right? It's all you can do is do it fast. But it's not, the goal is to start. Let's just start there. The goal is to start. So until you have a definite goal, a definite chief aim, this is what the life that I'm looking to achieve looks like, right? That is that is architectural design, right? Or the beginning of architecture. That's the vision. I want to have this type of life, right? I want to travel once a month, whatever the fucking case is. Excuse me, whatever the case is. That's where you start. Then you say, okay, what do I need to do to achieve that level of life, right? And freedom is having the wherewithal and making the mind to do that, right? Because now no one's holding you back. It's just you having that mind. It's not, I don't have the resources. Well, get the resources. They're out there, right? YouTube, you can find anything on it you want to learn on YouTube. And then next is just practical application, right? Even if you have to start, small, find when you want something, you will figure it out. And I used to hate when people say that. It used to irritate me so much when people say, well, if you want it bad, you'll figure it out. Um, it's absolutely true. Digging through the uncomfortableness of not knowing and coming out on the other side of, okay, I'm starting to figure this out. It's a frustrating process at times, but it is rewarding because now when you're on the other side, you know that all excuses is self-indulged. Like unless you're stuck in a country where you have heavy government control, and you told when to wake up and when to sleep, and you really don't have any real excuse because the world is opening up. Technology is allowing us to reach to coast. We can live as big or as small as we choose at this very moment in history. So we just have to think better. We have to feed our minds uh, with the ideology that suits the lifestyle that we want because everything is your mind is your field. It's going to cultivate you doing the right stuff or you doing the wrong stuff, right? Keep in mind, you have a system set up that wants you to, one, use as less energy as possible so they can automate it, they're going to automate it. So if you automate bad stuff, it's more comfortable for you. So when you're making that switch, it's going to become a little more difficult, but as you grind through it, it automates, and then you be automated for success. But you have to put stuff in. You have to the books that you read, the movies that you watch, the songs that you listen to. All of that should be cultivating you in a way that you're growing and moving towards your goals and dreams. If it's taking you away, then it's not good for you, right? It doesn't matter what it is. You have to limit what's going to pull you away and enhance what's going to get you there because this is your life. That's how we. What's the biggest lie you ever been told about time and money? Time is money. Time is time. And money is money. Both of them are energy, uh, but one of them is finite and one of them is. So I've said this before, and it's part of my core beliefs. Your time is precious. It's the only thing that we don't know how much we have. We don't know how much time we got, and once it's gone, it's gone, right? So we want to spend our time wisely, and we want to spend it doing the things that we want to do, right? Whether it's hanging out with loved ones, with your children, with your significant others, with your friends, with your parents, whatever your case. You want to spend time with the people that enhances your life. Time is time, but money allows all of that to happen. But they're not. It's not the same thing because I can lose money and I can get it back right back. I lose time and it's gone. I hope that answers your question. I like that. So someone said time is spiritual, and I will have to agree. How you spend your hours reflect what you truly believe in. So you do what aligns with you. Align yourself with the type of life you want. Hey, that was great. Like that. Let's go. Here's one right here. Does AI give you freedom or is it just a faster grind? Ooh, so let me answer this question. So AI, let me explain. Until you learn how to use it, it's it, it's going to take some time for you to get it. You're going to play with it. It's going to say some things you're not going to quite agree. It's not going to feel right. So you're going to have to go back. And it's a process. For most people, they kind of quit along the process, right? Or they just put it out and it's a bunch of weak stuff. So it's still a grind. AI is built for not just efficiency, but effectiveness as well. So as you grow with it, it will become more effective, more efficient. And the more effective and efficient it comes, well, then the less you have to try and pick with it, right? So it's a tool to set you free. And then you can take that time and you can spend it on things that enhance your spirit, enhance your soul, right? Laughing, traveling, enjoying different cultures, different foods, families and laughing and experiences. AI is to assist you, right? It will be used for a method to trap people, but once again, that's all on you. It's has a lot to do with where you at in your mindset. Like there's a lot of things going on, and unfortunately, the old system is dying, and it's taking a lot of people with it. It's the reason why I put together the things I put together because I see literally happening in real time a new system arising, and there's still people wondering, how they gonna figure out a third job. You know what I mean? When the internet is right here, right? I feel like there's a lot of hurting towards content creation, but it's not so much a herd, it's where the next is forming. It's the next, it's content creation is replacing television, right? It's starting to even replace movies in general, right? People are more likely listening to a podcast or scrolling on social media than to sit and watch a feature film. They just want that connection. We're still social creatures, and understanding who people are on multiple diasporas, it's a good thing. So because it's global, you're not so much localized. You can put your content out. AI can help you translate it in multiple different languages. And just because it might not be liked in your local area, it'll push it out past that to people that think they're interested. So you can always find your tribe. Um, and and carry on that way where you can have uh, more time to yourself and less time commuting. All right. So that was that question. One more question. Okay, we're going to universal law. Okay, what was the law that shifted your mindset forever? Okay, that will be, it was a few laws. So it was the law of vibration, everything vibrates, and the law of rhythm. The reason why that's so important because the law of rhythm, what that says is that everything has rhythm or cycle, and understanding that opened me up to know that so you ever felt like on a certain time of year, just like things would just always, that's a cycle. So when you know that it's a cycle, you're able to adjust yourself to it, right? And finances, the markets run on a 4-year cycle, right? And you have 2 years of a potential bull market and then 2 years of a bear market, right? And understanding those cycles will help you better invest, right? If I know that the market is going to be going down for the next 2 years, that means that I'm going to end up pulling my money out, waiting about a year till everything starts hitting critical lows, and then start buying at the bottom because I know in the next year and a half, it's going to be coming back up, and that's how I get huge gains. Learning that, and not just in finance, but in life, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have, I've been married 20 years, right? Just about. And we have certain cycles, right? We have cycles that we absolutely enjoyed, and we have cycles that was horrible. And understanding that helped us adjust for those cycles and improve time. So I will say the law of rhythm definitely was one of those ones to change my whole mind. And then the next is vibration. Everything is vibrating at its own frequency. And based on your vibration, you can see and hear and be open to things on either a higher vibration or a lower vibration. So, that definitely changed the way how I looked at my moods that I be in, how I think about myself, how I think about the world around me, and just staying in a positive or negative frequency. And here's the best example. So I remember when I was finishing up with college, and uh, me and my wife we were just now getting back together. We dated in high school. After college, we got back together. I remember we lived in an area of town. It was called the Tees in Richmond, and it was a lot of murders. It was in the hood, right? And I remember being back, right? So I was in Washington State, and then I came back home and went to Tennessee, and then I was bouncing around. So I was traveling. I was all in different places, and I remember like coming back home and kind of uh, because I'm when I say like ghetto, I don't mean all ghettos is bad, but it had a lower vibration. There was a lot of murders, a lot of death, a lot of frustration. I felt my energy and my frequency kind of dropping. I became more aggressive, less friendly. When I was out other places before, I was happier. I was smiling more. Now I ain't smiling because ain't nobody in the hood smiling at you. You know what I mean? I remember like feeling like I'm kind of moving to a lower level. Then not too long we moved, and then we moved from there. So once I read that law and I understood that law, I had a reference to what I've been through. So that definitely changed the way I see things. But yeah, I will say like those two laws is what changed me. So I'm thinking that's good, man. We've been on this thing 20 minutes. I answered a lot of questions. I'm gonna take some more questions, and I'm gonna come back next week and then I'm gonna answer some. So if you have any questions, put it in there. If you haven't seen it yet, I have my Freedom Toolkit where I bundle both my Mastery of Time, my Universal Law, my cryptocurrency, and my AI book, and I have it in the audio version as well. And I bundle it all together uh, where you guys can come pick it up. So absolutely check that out. I'm gonna put the link in the description. And that goes on sale today, and it's going to be going for the next week. So yeah, man, you can get all four of my books, and start to kind of get that good perspective on what we can do to change our lives for good. All right, I'm your boy TK. This is Keys Guide to Freedom. You guys have a blessing.